Hey there, everybody. It's been a little bit since I went live. I have been traveling and enjoying the last week of summer before my kids went back to school. And here I am traveling some more. I am out here on Vashon Island in the beautiful Northwest. I used to live up here in Seattle for about 9 years, and it's been quite a few, probably it's like 7 years, 6-7 years since I was home up here again. And you know, a couple weeks ago I was down in Key West. Now I'm up here for a few days. My birthday's next week, and I just decided, you know, now I'm going to do this for this week. And before I get going on the conversation, let me make it over here to a log. So, just wanted to bring you guys to this. I'm sitting here on this log, kind of see beautiful sky, everything like that. All right, hold on, guys. Hey. So, up here in Seattle, it's absolutely lovely up here. Just got here bright and early this morning. Had a little bit of a car issue. The rental car place that we rented our car from is out of business. And they never returned our money. They didn't even tell us that they were out of business. That's not hilarious. So they closed down their place up here in Seattle, and we spent about an hour and a half this morning going back and forth between the airport, between SeaTac and the car rental place that's across I-5 to try to get a car. And we just kept going back and forth, and we're calling the place, and you know, they have us on the eternal hold just to tell us, oh, we closed that location down 2 weeks ago. Like, we rented the car 3 weeks ago, or 2.5 weeks ago, and you guys never even emailed us. It was just crazy, absolutely freaking crazy. And I was like, well, we're sorry, you know, tough luck, you guys don't have a car. So off to Enterprise we went. We do have a car. We have an awesome Jeep, which is what we wanted for this little adventure up here. But yeah, and then we popped on the ferry boat and came over here to Vashon, and yeah, and had an awesome, amazing brunch. Ran around to the lighthouse and around on the beach and all that good stuff. Some good clam chowder. And now we're out here trying to contemplate, like, what are we going to do? It's kind of nice to go traveling without a massive amount of plans. I am one of those people that I love to go do excursions, and I love to go do all this kind of stuff, but COVID has kind of brought me back home to the United States a little bit more, not traveling outside the country really, and you know, just hopping around and then coming back up here to a place that I do call home. There's so much that I want my boyfriend to see, because he's never been to the beautiful Northwest. And this morning it was kind of funny watching him freeze his ass off out there on the ferry boat, because he did not bring a sweatshirt. So I stood there with my sweatshirt, and he did not have a sweatshirt. So we got to buy the poor boy a sweatshirt. But yeah, it's nice just to kind of go with the flow, which brings me to the conversation of today. And the conversation of today that I want to kind of bring in a lot of the work that I've been doing over the last couple weeks since I got back from Key West is based around surrendering around security. And I've had, I tell you, the last week and a half to 2 weeks, however long it's been since I got back from Key West, a lot of the people that I'm working with are really like caught up in tension and stress and this feeling that they cannot surrender to life, that they cannot surrender to their joy, to their happiness, to love, to money, to whatever the fuck they're wanting to they're wanting to call into their life. And they have this concept that they cannot surrender until whatever they're wanting is guaranteed to show up in their life. And I'm just going, that's not how it works. sorry, honey, that's not how it works. That's not the way the law of attraction works. That's not the way life works. That's the way we are told that it's supposed to work. That's the way we are really, people try to get us to believe, our families, our teachers, preachers, teachers, the government, our mothers, our fathers, our grandparents, all will tell us, don't believe it until you see it. And that we should be going after security, and that security is definitely the way to go, and to really, try to control the situation and make sure that everything is secure before we allow ourselves to enjoy it. And the reality, because I used to live my life, actually 15 years ago when I lived up here in the beautiful Northwest, I had that belief. I had the belief that I had to see it to believe it. And it really made my life rough, and I was not a happy person. And here I was in this beautiful state, literally this beautiful, beautiful state up here. Washington is gorgeous, one of the most beautiful states that I think that the United States has, for sure. Some of the most lush land and everything. But I was so caught up in the need to see it before I could believe it that I missed the opportunity of the beauty around me. For a lot of the years that I lived up here, I really truly missed the beautifulness of this place because I was so caught in that. And over the course of the last few weeks since getting back from Key West, everybody coming to me and bringing that up, and then coming back up here, and as we were coming over on the ferry boat, I felt myself just so full of emotion and just kind of, it really is kind of like coming home. But the realization of, wow, there's all this beauty here, there's all of this energy here, and I missed it all those years ago. I missed this beauty. I missed all this opportunity. And I'm not talking about financial opportunity even. I'm talking about the opportunity to embrace life, to love life. And that's what we miss. Because at the end of our days, are we going to be laying on our beds going, man, I'm so grateful that I'm dying with, those hundreds of thousands of dollars in the bank. Man, I'm so grateful that I'm dying with this big, awesome house. Man, I'm so grateful that I'm dying with these, 15,000 cars here or whatever. No, we're going to go, I'm regret that I did not live enough. I regret that I did not love enough. I regret that I didn't risk enough. When we get to those end days, what we're really wanting is we're wishing that we had learned how to live instead of fearing life. And what we get from surrendering to the need to have security in everything is that we access the beauty of life. We access the ability to receive all the blessing that life can bring to us. I was listening to a talk the other day. I don't even remember who it was. I was listening to a talk the other day, and they were talking about the fact that, when you're traveling, if you spend all this time at a job that you hate, and you're just hating it, and you're hating it and hating it, and then finally you get the opportunity to go on a trip, and you go on the trip, and then you spend your first 2-3 days out of your 5 or 7 days on a trip, and all you're doing is just still trying to get out of work mode. And that's what happens for a lot of people, right? They're trying to get out of work mode, and they're still just caught up in the anxiety and the stress of work, and they just can't access that ability to surrender to joy unless they drink a whole bunch or something like that. But they really miss where they're at. They miss the opportunity of that trip that they're on. They miss the connective moments with the people that they're there with. Or if they're alone, they miss the opportunity to just really breathe in and enjoy the life that they have right there in that moment. And then they go through, and then they get to the end of whatever that cycle of that trip is, and they look back and they go, well, the trip wasn't long enough. I just need more time. I need this. I don't want to go back, blah, 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 blah. And there's all of this anxiety and frustration throughout the 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 days, whatever it is, wrapped around the trip. And it's not because that there wasn't enough time in the trip, not because a whole bunch of good shit didn't happen, not because that there wasn't vast opportunity coming to them to enjoy each moment, but it was because they didn't enjoy however many weeks before in their daily lives, because they have trained themselves that there's no enjoyment to life, that there's just drudgery, there's just all of this feeling to life. So they're missing the daily blessings. And if you're constantly missing your daily blessings and you're constantly missing your daily joy, then what makes you think that you're going to be able to find it magically just because you're, sitting on a beach someplace or hiking in the rainforest like we're going to be doing tomorrow or something like that? And the opportunities for you to be able to experience those blessings, it comes every single day. You have to be in love with your life so that life will start to love on you. And around that, it's this concept of just really having security in something, and that we can't surrender to what we want unless it can guarantee us that it is there, that it is staying there, that it's not changing. And if you really think about it, isn't that just a bunch of bullshit? If we take this into a romantic perspective, and we start thinking about a romantic partner, and we go, well, I want this in a romantic partner, and then I never want them to change. I want the security. I want that when we meet for the very first time, it's like soulmates meeting, and you meet somebody across the room and your eyes lock and you just know this is the one. Yeah, right. I mean, I've had plenty of soulmate meetings like that, people that I was completely attracted to and everything, and they're not in my life right now. But we have these Hollywood concepts of that we're gonna lock eyes and we're just gonna know. And sometimes we do know. We know that there's something that is in that meeting. But imagine if you thought, oh, that person, I never want them to change. And we even have songs and all this stuff, and we say to people, I never want you to change. You're perfect just the way you are. I never want you to change. So what are we saying? I want the security of knowing that you're never going to change. I want the security of knowing that you're not going to grow, and that therefore nothing's going to change, that we're just going to remain right here as if we are just planted in cement for the rest of our lives. Number one, that's of course not going to happen, because we're always evolving, we're always changing. Life happens to each individual, life happens to the couple, right? Life happens. But number two, doesn't that sound just absolutely boring? Can you imagine how bored you would be with somebody if they just never changed, they never grew, they never experienced it, they never wanted for more, they never desired more, they never wanted you to become your absolute best, they never, there was no real true desire to thrive. And thriving means experience, thriving means living, thriving does mean expanding and changing and being able to receive so much more. But we can only receive more when we let go of the concept that we need to have security around the receiving. Because when we try to secure the receiving, we actually hold it away from ourselves. We make it where we can't receive all that wants to come to us. And so the trick is the surrender piece of it, right? We have to be able to surrender to what we cannot see, to what we do not know, to the concept, to the idea, to the desire of it being there. And then it manifests, then it bursts itself, then it comes in and it secures itself for the time frame that it needs to be there. But here we are doing the absolute reverse of it. We run around and we go, I can't really love this person until I know for a fact that this person is never going to leave me. I can't really love this person until I know for a fact that this person is never going to change or ask me to change or want this or da-da-da-da-da, right? And that's crazy. And we go, well, I don't know if I should really take that job, because what if they fire me in 3 years? What if the company goes out of business? What if? Yeah, well, maybe, and what? I can't have a child because I don't know if that child is going to be a good child, is going to survive childhood, if I'm going to be a good parent, if all this kind of stuff. And we do these things. I know plenty of people who will say, well, I don't want to be a parent because I don't know if I'm going to be a good parent. FYI, the way you become a good parent is by practicing being a parent. The way you build a business is by practicing building your business. A way you develop your relationship and build more intimacy and connection with a partner is by practicing intimacy, surrender, and growth with your partner, to practice authentic relating with your partner. The way you grow yourself is, imagine if you never changed. That's absolutely right. And you were just secure in who you were, and you were never going to change, and nothing was going to happen, and you knew this at age 16. How many of us truly would want to go back to age 16 and have the great old wisdom that every 16-year-old does? We all know 16-year-olds know everything, and the rest of the world knows nothing. But can you imagine? Just think of the things that you have learned over the course of the years between 16 and now, and how you've developed, and your understanding of things, and the experiences that you've had, and the love that you've shared, and some of the struggles and the trauma, but look at where it's brought you. Look at the character that it's brought to you and created in you. Look at the strength that it has made, and the wisdom that it's given you. Because in our surrender to life, in our surrender to the receiving, that's where wisdom comes from. That's where our love of life comes from. That's where our appreciation comes from. And the more we can really lean into the appreciation and let go of the idea of security around things, a demanding to control, the false sense that security even exists, when we actually let go of that, that's when everything opens up to us. That's when everything just comes in and magically starts to create. Because when we let go of that, we let go of restriction. And that restriction is what's holding each one of us back in the creation of what we want. So if you're wanting to call in the love of your life, if you're wanting to call in all the money that you can imagine, you're wanting to call in good health, the body of your dreams, the house, the job, the car, the travel, the whatever you're wanting to create in life right now. Number one, know that it is about the journey. It is not about the destination. That is a very true statement. And the journey is a journey of surrender, a journey of letting go, a journey of letting life bring you the perfect opportunities and the perfect moments, and knowing that that's where the magic is at. The magic is in knowing that you will always get what you want, and you will always get it in the right time, but you have to surrender to that process. You're holding back the clock. You're causing the restriction of it actually happening really, really quick, because you've got this funny concept that you need to have security. You need to have an absolute certainty from some outside source. Okay, that's what we're talking about. The certainty from some outside source that it's going to happen, that it's going to be this way. And the only certainty that you ever truly need is the certainty that comes right from here, right from your heart, right from your soul, from your alignment with God, from source, from universe, whatever you want to call it. When you have that kind of certainty, that's where the blessings start to fall. That's where the magic starts to happen. And that's where you start to really create within this magical timeline everything that you really, truly want. So, surrendering to the security, surrendering, letting go of it, letting go of the concept that you need to control the outcome, and realizing that the more you let go, yes, it's going to feel risky. Yes, it's going to feel scary. Yes, all of that. But that's exactly what growth is about. That's exactly how you open up your vessel to really, truly manifesting a life that is what I call the fuck yes living life, right? All about thriving, all about really, truly embarking on this beautiful journey, which is your life. So, let me see. We're off, I think, to a vineyard and some other things. I don't know what. We've got a whole bunch of stuff tomorrow. I'll probably come to you from the ocean or from the rainforest. We're heading over to Forks, over to where Twilight was filmed, all that good stuff. We are heading out off over to Redmond now and back over that way. And you'll see pictures popping. If you're friends with me or follow me on my profile, you'll see pictures popping of the island here, but also of Seattle. So if you're in Seattle, click love on there, click like on there, say, hey, here in my home, all that good stuff. If you've never been to Seattle and would like to come, hey, you know what? So far, even with all the talk of all the scary stuff going on up here, still feels like a beautiful, beautiful part of the world to me, and I haven't seen any scary stuff yet. So of course I'll let you know if I do see any scary stuff. I highly doubt that I will, but maybe I'm just not in alignment to it. There you go, right? And yeah, and then Monday, what are we doing on Monday? Monday we're hiking up to the waterfalls and going out. I can't remember the name of this little town out off of Highway 90, but there's this little town that's like this little German beautiful little town out there. So I think that we're going to go do that and everything. So definitely follow those pictures, follow everything on that. Watch for some more Conscious Coffees live from the state of Washington over the next couple days, and of course musings and all that good stuff too. And then I will catch you guys from Texas. As always, remember, you're worthy of a dynamic, amazing life, but you've got to be open to receiving it, right? And that means that you've got to stop existing and start living. That is all about you making that choice. That is all about receiving what wants to come down and flood your life, which is all those riches, all that beautiful love and joy. But it starts right now. Can you get good, even in the midst of all the chaos that is being reported, all the shit that the media is putting on? Can you actually fall in love with your life right now? Can you look out into your world and can you find somebody to love? Can you find somebody to be appreciative of? Can you find something to really, truly just be in gratitude for? Can you look into your world and just find something that is yummy and awesome and focus on it for maybe just 1 minute? Because if you can do that for 1 minute, guess what? That 1 minute, it can catapult you into a whole day, into a whole week, into a whole month, and it can change the next 12 months, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, the rest of your life. 1 minute can do that, but it all requires you focusing in on that beautiful minute. Okay guys, I'll catch you tomorrow with another Conscious Coffee. I love you. Remember, stop existing, start living, and I'll catch you from somewhere around Washington State.